Welcome to Gold Fever Radio.
I go straight from the bank, gassing up the tank, cranking up the radio, playing old Hank. It ain't that long.
Well, hey, good evening and welcome once again. It is Wednesday, so you know what that means. Yes, it is Gold Fever Radio time. Wednesday, October the 4th, 2023. And you know what? Counting down the days, we only have 88 days left till the end of the year. Let's see what's going on today. Shall we really quick? We'll run through this stuff. Today is National Taco Day. I always thought taco should be on Tuesday. I thought Tuesday's Taco Day. But today's National Taco Day. It's National Golf Lovers Day. It's National Vodka Day. Whoa. Too bad I can't have no vodka. It's National Vodka Day. It's National Walk to School Day. I bet you kids don't do that anymore. And it's National Pumpkin Seed Day. They should have saved that one until like closer to Halloween. Let's see, on this day in history, what the hell happened? 2011. Man who served 25 years for murder was exonerated by DNA. Wow, could you imagine? 25 years and then get exonerated. I would be pissed. See, 1927, work on Mount Rushmore began. In 1970, Janis Joplin dies of a heroin overdose. Let's see, if it's your birthday today, happy birthday. You share birthdays with like Alicia Silverstone, she's 47. Susan Sarandon is 77. Let's see, events. We got our Meadview push up there with the backhoe. That's October 14th and 15th. November, let's see, we got a metal detecting hunt here in camp. That starts this Saturday, October the 7th. And let's see, November, what is that? Oh, they got that treasure hunter thing, rendezvous up in the Superstitions up there. That's in November 4th, 5th, and 6th, I think that is, or 6th, 5th and 6th, whatever that is. And we got our, let's see, metal detecting hunt here in camp, November 11th. They all start at 1 o'clock here. Patreon outing, November 18th and 19th, out on the claim out here for you Patreon channel supporters. And December 28th to 1/1 is our New Year's extravaganza. And that is this day in history. Let's see who's all popping in here early. Paul Mishak, hello there. Minuteman Adventures. You guys carrying on a real conversation here. I'm not going to get in on your conversation. You guys carrying on, holy mackerels. You guys got quite the conversation going on. Terry Curry, hello. Richard Duke, hello. Trippin' Tommy, hello. Oops, I lost it. Steve Collier, Bobby Bunzel, Josh Cooper, Trucking Nomad. What's up, Pumpkinhead? Oh, you're very funny. Let's see. Patty's Adventures. Good evening. Denny is watching with me. Oh, hello. David Villa, hello. Oops, I lost my thing here. Herb Cato, hello. And Birdman. You should be on your way back, shouldn't you? And Guy Carl, welcome everybody. Welcome, welcome. So we got our guest tonight. Oh, I got to tell you guys a story. I was talking to Tommy. I told Tommy the story. You know, the last video, I think it was the last video that I posted last week. I think I went up there. I'm going to go see if that was the one. Anyways, where I dug a hole, and then before I left, I buried the hole back in. Where you guys, saw that video, and I found a couple pieces of gold. I found that one that looked like the arrowhead the week before, and then when I went back, I found that little specimen right there, all in the same area. So I filled the hole back in. I was up there yesterday. I went back up there, and somebody had reopened up my hole and then they stacked up a bunch of rocks by the hole. So I guess it's their claim now. But it's funny that I think they were watching the video because they had to watch that video to go up there to know exactly where to open up the hole at. So, anyways, I found that to be funny. So I did find me a nice little picker when I went up there yesterday, and then I went back up there today and just did some vacuuming. Just found a little bit of fine gold, nothing really hefty duty. But anyway, cool. Let's bring our guest in. Hey, we got Peter and Joe in the house. Let's go right here. Here is Peter. Hi, Peter.
How you doing?
Hey, so here's Joe. Hello, everybody. How y'all doing?
That's about right. That's about right.
My name's Joe.
MIA Joe.
Yeah, my name's Joe. Hey, how come I don't have a hat like yours? You want a hat like mine? Here. Yeah, now I can't see nothing. Take it off. Take it off. Anyways, okay. Hey, why don't you go sit down there? No, let me watch. You know, if you ever watch,
I need a hat.
Oh, here you
I need a hat.
If you ever watched 2.5 Men, Alan had that Danny O'Day doll on there, and after I saw that, I thought, man, I got to get me one of them. So, that was a long time. Anyway, what's happening, Peter? Long time no here, buddy.
Yeah, how you doing?
So what happened to Joe? Your compadre.
Well, Joe's got some things going on, and he's MIA again. So, but that's okay.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
We'll wing it without him.
We'll wing it without him. Yeah, it'll be a better show without him anyway. What the?
No, no, I didn't say that. I'm looking around. I'm looking around for a hat. Can I wear a helmet?
Yeah, you got one up there on the wall, that big helmet.
Yeah, look, hold on. Here, this one is good, but it's a little hard to wear because it was picked up at Bastogne, and
wow,
kind of like ripped right through it.
Did the
No,
guy
I'm not
get
going to wear
shot?
that. It looks like it got hit. This is part of the collection, which is probably what I'll talk about a lot tonight. Looks like it got hit with a piece of shrapnel that came through here and just ripped, or else came through this side because it's bent in, and a flat piece and came out this side. But it's just, this is, I don't really like helmets unless they're shot up or busted up.
Yeah.
And that's part of the collection.
Yeah, that guy wasn't feeling too good after that.
Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of these helmets and stuff, and I have about 50 of them here that are shot up or blown up or crushed. A lot of them were just laying on the battlefield and got hit, kicked around, shot and all that. But if one has a bullet hole in it, and you take a dowel rod and put it through the bullet hole, and there's no exit, like in a straight line, most likely somebody had it on because it entered the helmet and then bounced around in the brain pan.
Wow.
And then exited somewhere else. So it's kind of a little gory little fact that not many people pay attention to. But, I got them from the Battle of the Bulge, Normandy. I even have ones from Iraq and Afghanistan that GIs brought home. I just fascinated by it if they tell that story because they were there. Not if they're pristine and some guy put it in the closet in 1943. No, tell me the story.
Well, that one that you just showed that was all shot up, is there any red dye inside of there?
No, there's nothing. This was found in the Ardennes forest in Bastogne. It's a Model 40 particular style, but this is only one of many that are totally shot up.
Well, that's pretty cool, though. You got quite a collection. I know you got a huge museum. So why don't you tell everybody, that don't know you, tell us a little bit of history about you, what you do, what you got started, and all that type of stuff.
Okay, I'm 5'3". I have long hair. I'm a bit of a relic myself. I started collecting when I was very young. When I was a kid, my uncle teased me and showed me this one arrowhead that he had in a drawer that he had found in North Carolina. And that one arrow point just, I have it. I have it in the case here, even in the same little pill box he had it in because it's my treasure. But that started me. So I can honestly say 3,000-4,000 points and artifacts later, I am where I am. And it was Indian stuff, but it was everything. My dad made me a Heath kit metal detector, one of these crappy things that could barely find a Volkswagen, but it was one that he made with the soldering iron and all that in the mid to, maybe 68 or something. And they used to take me to Gettysburg, and they would take us, actually, the family camping, Bull Run, all these places in the summer. And I always used to just think I was going to find stuff. I would go to the battlefields. I'd look in the dirt and the washes. Never took my metal detector because it could only find a Volkswagen. So I really got hooked on all of that, and I became a student of history. I studied in school. I wrote papers on it. I did everything. And I dug bottle dumps all through my teens and found whatever I could find, Indian stuff, bottle dumps. But it wasn't until I was probably not even regarding that old metal detector, probably wasn't until I was in my 20s that I really started to get interested in metal detecting. And that started by going down to North Carolina, to Carolina Beach, and metal detecting the Battle of Fort Fisher and finding fragments and stuff. And I was absolutely hooked. And a good old friend of mine, Dickie Wolf, who passed away, he kind of tutored me on a lot of this stuff. And he would say, what do you want to find? And I'd say, cannonballs. And he'd say, you like buttons? I'd say, no, I want to find a cannonball. And he'd go, well, you'll like buttons sooner or later. And it was true. In years of detecting and finding 1,000 pounds of cannonball scrap and all that broken, fractured pieces, fragments and all that, I eventually began to appreciate the finer things, buttons and coins. And so it's a passion. I write articles. We do shows. Joe and I do presentations. We're doing one in a couple of, maybe 3 weeks, 2 weeks maybe. They have a site that they're basically, it's a fundraiser. It's a huge old 200-year-old farm, and these people are they're letting us do a fundraiser where people pay $150 each for the weekend of detecting wherever they want on this huge old farm, which dates from the 1700s. I'm not planning on detecting, but I am. There's a building there where they have like a center where people can come and, what do you ever call, educational center. I'm setting up all my little bighorn stuff, my Alamo stuff, and I'm just gonna basically keep it to those two things and do talks, a little bit of a talk, and a little bit of display. So I plan on sitting back and have a nice relaxing weekend looking at cannibals. So
let me ask you,
but that's the stuff we do.
What happens, like what all you hear a lot about, like the antiquity laws and stuff? How does that play into what all this stuff that you've got?
It's a little tricky. Technically speaking, there are laws, and I'm not up on every single one of them because they're ever changing, about transporting antiquities across state lines. I think you can be gifted something, but if you dig something up or something like that, depending on where you find it, there's certain touchy little laws about it. The Indian artifacts, since the 80s, there's been lots of hoop to do about digging and removing. It's not only archaeologically preserving sites and feeling that you're looting. There's also sacred feelings about it from some of the particular tribes. So a lot of people are very quiet about what they find. There's been instances where I know people were digging in the some of the mound people down in Alabama and into Missouri and all that, and they're digging in a Etowah site and close to these Cahokia sites, which are noted sites, and people have been arrested, their artifacts, their collections confiscated, anything used in the implementation of a crime, their car, their watch, their metal detectors, everything. It can be really harrowing. So yeah, there's a lot of caution that needs to be taken. You don't go on state land. You don't go on private property without permission. You don't go on national land. So you really are confined to private property with permission. Is some of the best areas around here in New Jersey. We can go into the county parks, which are owned by particular counties, and we can go. You can't go into state parks. You can go to national parks, and we go on sometimes. There's a lot of things that people say, like I've heard many people say, I was chased off of the school property because the school says it's private property. I've spoken to my attorneys. I've spoken to different people, and always have a good attorney in your back pocket. And they say, well, wait a second, school's not private property; it's public property. Any kids can go. They put stipulations with no trespassing signs, but a lot of that stuff is basically invalid. So people have gone to court and fought and made out, with not being punished for detecting on town property, or school property and things like that. But it's a little tricky. A lot of times, a lot of the rangers and police and stuff just look away. They want to see what you found. They think it's kind of cool, But the national parks, the state parks, the protected lands, they're out, completely out. You can get permission. On the beach.
So all that stuff that you have, you've got quite a few stuff there. So I know that you live in Australia, and so if anybody,
I live down a 35-mile driveway in the outback of Australia, and my house is underground, so never find it. Well, that's it's tricky too, because of the American Indian issues too. A lot of people are very concerned about preserving. It's a catch-22, preserving Indian culture, preserving some of these artifacts. But the people generally, like myself, who have things and have acquired different artifacts, display them and research them. It's a lot better than sitting in Grandpa's drawer, which almost every Grandpa's drawer had an arrowhead or two in it. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of tricky stuff, maneuvers to do.
No, Patty, it's not a cuckoo clock. That's my driveway. Somebody came in the driveway. That's what went off that building. Dan said he goes through Manasau's battlefield every day on his way home. Just tell them you are an archaeologist. You can steal all you want. Man, people coming in and out. Must be yeah.
You must be hitting
night.
Amazon.
Oh, they're all coming in, Amazon?
Yeah, all your Amazon orders are coming in.
No, I think everybody's, I think all my neighbors are coming in and out. So what's the coolest thing that you've got that you've ever found? What's your most coolest find?
Oh, my God. You could better said some of my favorites. Dickie Wolf, who I mentioned earlier, who was a master detector down in Carolina Beach, North Carolina, took me out a number of times and tutored me on a lot of the finer points. And he, of course, explained to me about the buttons. But we went out one time, and I told him that I got a really solid hit. And I said, but I was using a crappy shovel I found in the back of my father's car, which was for, like, my mother used to steal plants, like, on the side of the road and everything. So I got this crappy shovel, and I was digging down, and I couldn't get down to this hit. And I got back, and I told Dickie, I said, yeah, I found something. I got a big hit, but I don't know what it is. Could be a sewer cap or something deep down there. So anyway, he took me out to go around and to go looking, and he said, we're going to find you a shell, boy. So he's checking around, and after a while, he goes, let's go dig up that hit. So we went back and showed him right where it was, where I started to dig, and he took my old White's machine, and he goes, dig, boy. So I started digging. I got down, 18 inches or so. All of a sudden, bonk. And I looked up, he looked at me, and he goes, go to the hole. So I put my hand down in the hole, and he says, is it a pipe? And I said, no, Dickie, it's round. So it turned out we dug it up. It took an hour to get it out of the ground. It was a 77-pound cannonball. Nice.
Wow.
If I pick it up, I'd show it to you, but it's over there.
Oh,
right there.
That bowling ball?
Big, nice cannonball. And they're, the reason why they're intact is if they were exploding cannonballs is because it's alive. It was a dud. So we had to take it back to his partner's place, and we, soaked it in a bucket of spackle bucket of water overnight, and then we drilled it the next day. And I hid behind a tree, and he drilled it the next day and flushed out all the powder. And these guys, I mean, they had a business of this. They were doing this for years, and they used to flush them out at the same place. He had a garden hose with a neck down adapter on it and a little 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch tubing that used to put in the hole and flush the cannonballs out, flush the water out on the grass. One day, Dickie told me, he said they've been doing it for years in the same spot, and he was walking across the lawn and he lit a cigarette, and through the match, and he said he heard crackling behind him, and he looked, and the whole lawn was crackling, and the powder after whatever that's 150, 60 years, the powder is still volatile. And I know that myself because I have another one over there. It's a 15-pound ball that someone else had drilled, and I was in my shop and I had it in the workbench, and I was banging it on the bench, and powder came out. And I said, wow. So, of course, I put the ball aside, and it lit a match, and the powder lit, and it glowed like white. And I smelled it, and I thought, my God, that's the smell of artillery, of battle. So how could you get the real smell of that kind of powder without doing something like that? So that was my most thrilling find. But I've also found Washington inaugural button somewhere in a case here. That was what they called a states button, where every state had little ovals on it. The buttons are this big, and they went on coats. They were souvenirs that they gave out at the inaugurations, and it had like an NJ for New Jersey, NY for New York. Each of the original states, not colonies, because at that point they were states, were in little ovals around the button. And in the center, it said, around the circle, it said, "Long live the president," and had a GW and script on it. So that's a cool button. Hold on a second.
I'd be scared to sleep up above there with all them cannonballs in there. All of a sudden, one night, everything just goes up. Ba-boom!
Well, I dared them to go off.
Oh, you dare them to go off?
Yeah, because it's only themselves are going to hurt. I say glibly. Here, hold on. Sorry.
Yeah, Truckee Nomad. There are some old shells around here. I found old muzzle loaders, 3 ringers, mini balls out here, and some old Henrys like that. There are some of them. You have to get back out here, Truckee Nomad. Hey, you going up to meet you, Truckee Nomad, on the next get together? Okay.
Gonna give me a second. There's something has popped up. I'm trying to get rid of something. There's some screen popped up here. Okay, well, I can still see myself. Here, so this, you can't really see it that well, but this is the inaugural button. It says that stuff around in a circle, but I have it in this case, so you don't really see it. There you go. Now I got it up. So let's see. You can't really see anything on it, unfortunately, because it was in the ground, so it's corroded. But that's a pretty, that's a very substantial find. They call those bucket listers, of course, but a once in a lifetime find. A couple different bucket listers. We find mini balls around here, but they're not usually for military use. They're probably somebody brought home a long gun or something after the Civil War. I find white 3 ringers every once in a while, but they're pretty rare, and I don't give them any sort of a military association other than the fact that they're probably just from some old gun that somebody had. So, but those are the 2 things that I think are the most. But every find is a thrill. I was dug up an Indian head penny one time, and it was shot, and it had a dented big dent in the side. And I put the coil over the hole again, and it was still something in the hole. And I dug up again, and it was a little tiny, like 32 caliber bullet. Somebody probably put the coin on the ground and shot straight at it, So there's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, there's a lot of guns I've gotten over time. Let's see, which way are we going here? Can you see that one? There's a flintlock.
Oh yeah.
Here, let me get it. There's a flintlock that's it blew out in use. So
wow.
That's a pretty cool.
Was that in the ground, metal detecting?
I don't think so. I think that was a battlefield pickup or something. But other ones here, there's a lot. I have, well, this was from Fort Fisher, closer to Wilmington. It's a nice 1858 Remington. But the cool thing, can you see the back? If you could see them.
Got a little divot
Oh,
in
wait,
it.
that's another one. Hold on. That's this one. This is the one from Wilmington. But see, let's see if you can see the back strap. See the notches?
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that they look like notches to me. No one ever said anything else to me about it. When I got it, they didn't mention that, but they're clearly cut right across. And that's the old cliche, And this
Oh,
gun
yeah.
beaten to shit. Look at the hammers bent, heavily used. That was dug outside of Wilmington. So Fort
Wow.
Fisher Association. This one is one of the cooler ones. This is an 1851 Colt Navy revolver that the original tag on it. It was found under floorboards of a building that was used as a hospital in Crimea during the Battle of the Crimean War. The Charge of the Light Brigade and all those British guys running up and guns to the left of me or whatever, something to the right. And it's really cool because the building was used as a hospital. But, people could say, well, people make shit up. But the numbers on this gun and the markings on it, it's a London Colt. So clearly that story works very well because they were British that were in that fighting against the Russians in Crimea. So, pieces like this, they're it's so difficult to put a value on them because some of them are just kind of beyond value, beyond numeric value. It's whatever someone thinks. There's only one of them. There could be any other sort of 1851 Navy revolver, but there's only one like that.
Wow, that's
Now
cool.
something else. I have.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Oh, is that Joe?
Yeah, that's really
Joe's-
cool.
Joe's seen all of that.
I like your collection.
I'm looking for a prop. I can't find a prop. So I need props. I got African masks.
Oh, so I mean, so you got this museum down there. Do you have ropes where people come to your house and you take them on tours and stuff like that?
Special people. But I charge a quarter. I gotta just show my wife I'm good for something. So. Yeah, some people, I've invited people down to take a look, and they just look around, and you can see their eyes glaze over. They don't have a clue, and they could care less. But some people just really, they want to live down here. So.
Oh yeah, no, I think that stuff's all awesome, man. That's like a huge part of history.
Yeah. Here's something cool. I'm gonna be doing is just grabbing stuff if you don't mind.
No, you don't mind at all. That's really cool. Isn't that cool? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's got some cool stuff. Hey, I want to be on the other screen. I want to be over there. Can I have a separate screen? No. Shut up. Don't tell me to shut up. Hey, what you got now?
Okay. There's numbers of these displays. These are all little bighorn items that I've gotten over the years from people that had gotten on the battle site. It's kind of rare to get anything now, but I got pretty lucky with a couple of different people I had known over the years that were experts and had spent time.
Yeah, that's really cool stuff you got there.
All these. Can't tell if you're making fun of me or not. Shell casings. These are all 66 and Winchesters and Henry rifles. I'm not sure how you can see those, but they're trying to get up in the white spot. There's shell casings that were basically stepped on by horses and all that. So there's a lot of that stuff, and a lot of that stuff's going to be going on display when we do this display the next couple of weeks up in New York State.
Well, you can display all that stuff down in my place.
Hold on.
I won't mind at all. Hello. Shut up. Don't tell
Have
me
a number of things like this in my collection.
Wow.
I've got a number of Indian guns, different guns. This has been ID'd through the tack marks and some other markings on the gun. This was a bighorn participant. Still got the leather on it. And what had happened is sometime in the mid 80s, a collection was being filtered out, and I was able to acquire things at separate places at separate times, and eventually put it all together to realize that they all came from pretty much one thing. But this is a lot of the bighorn stuff is you can't put values on it. You just can't.
Terry asked if you ever donate any of your stuff finds to museums.
I put things on display. I do that, loans and things like that. We do talks and shows at public venues and libraries and historical centers, historical societies, museums. We do a lot of that. So I try to share it. A lot of people detect, and this is a little bit of the parting of the ways a little bit. A lot of people in the club love to just want to find gold rings. They just want to find stuff, and that's great. Good coins and all that. And that's good. But there's a lot more to it. I'm dedicated as a student of history to the kids. Enjoy doing talks and Boy Scouts, things like that. It's important to convey the message to everybody. And when I write articles, and too, I write a column on Indian artifacts, I always try to put a different spin on it so people can really see, what's going on. It's important, and it's more than, some of these things, like I say, who knows what they're worth, but they have much more value in the story and conveying the message, so.
So
Here, I got another cool thing. You mind if I do it like this? As I look around and find stuff? I'll just show you.
We want you to. We want to see stuff.
Okay, this one is really cool. Okay, I didn't find this, of course, but this is one of my favorite all-time things in my collection. Hold on.
Okay, you can wait. Be quiet down there. Just lay down, sit down there, behave. I'm doing it good. Let me look. I want to see. See? Oh, yeah. What are you looking at? Nothing. Yeah.
I was trying to find something. Really creepy and weird to show you, but I can't find anything. So, no, this is cool. Okay, this is as you see, German style helmet. Okay, it's all original. This is a war. And it's got a rolled rim, nicely made, but there's no vents on it. So one time someone told me exactly what model this is. So I'm not showing this as a German helmet. I got this from a British veteran. He was a sniper in Afghanistan. And they bombed out a village in northern Afghanistan where the Taliban were. And when they went into the village, and he sent me pictures of the bombed out buildings. He sent me pictures where he found the helmet. He found the helmet amongst a bunch of dead Taliban that they had been wearing these surplus helmets. This is in what years was that? 2002, 3. So the Taliban, whomever, coming up with these World War II, slightly after World War II era German helmets, and sitting on there trying to get covered under their.
Hey, there's your hat to wear right there.
And it's just to me that's the coolest story because it's like crosses so much different history. It's really neat. I got to tell you, the cat is walking around under me, really mad, swiping at me because it wants attention. So. If I keep on looking around, it's not that I'm nervous. I just don't want to get bitten back by the cat.
Hello, Peter. Hello.
Hi, Joe.
Hello.
So anyway, this is one of my favorites. That really is. I love that. It's all about the story. You know what? I'll buy it. I'll buy any story you can tell me. So no, I'm serious.
It looks like Colonel Schultz or whatever. Schultz. I see nothing. Yeah. That's really cool. What else you got? Show some good
This
stuff.
is cool. I got this recently, and I made this case, but it's kind of flopping around in the case. This guy was touring France, and he spent the weekend in the British sector, Sword Beach, the British sector at Normandy. And after one storm, he and his wife were like stuck in a hotel, and he went out in the rain, and this was on the beach. So I put it in this. I made a display so you could see both sides, but it's a half of an American canteen,
Wow.
which is
An
kind of
old
cool. It's
style.
washed up. It's a little loose in there. It's not supposed to do that, but anyway, that's something I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, we used to use them when I was a kid in boys camp, boys and scouts. Yeah, I never saw that before. That's pretty cool. That's really cool.
So anyway, there's a lot of stuff.
So all them guns up on the wall and those big ass bullets I see behind you.
Those big ones are 200-pounders from Fort Fisher, and the smaller one's 100-pounder, and then all the cannonballs. That's the cannonball wall.
Oh,
Fragments and cannonballs. And see those urns? I'm having a hard time getting you to navigate this. Those came. A friend of mine was really into a lot of the Florida wrecks. He was an attorney, and he was a good friend of mine. And he knew Mel Fisher, and he got these, and I never saw them, but he brought in one that was in about 100 pieces, shattered. His kids like threw a volleyball at it or something. So I because what I do, restoration work and woodwork, I put it all together and get the color and made it look right. And I could barely tell which one it is. And some years later, he was downsizing, and he said, "Here, take them." And he gave me a National Geographic article that accompanied them and everything. So really cool. They came from the Nuestra Senora de Guadalupe. I speak Spanish anyway, so my accent is good. The Nuestra Senora de Guadalupe, which was a mercury ship, and mercury was used to separate in the processing of silver. So they, I think 2 of them had olive oil in them or something, but the bigger one had pine pitch in it. And if you stick your nose in it, you can still smell pine pitch. And that thing had been underwater for 200 or 300 years. So it was off the coast of Dominican Republic. So it's kind of cool. That's the only, I have some shipwreck stuff, but that's, I have stuff like this.
Hey, that got a lot of cool stuff. Yes, he does. He does.
This is sword hilt. This is like where the sword was being held like this.
Oh.
A sword hilt, like held like this. And that came off of a wreck, the St. Peter's. Yeah, the St. Petersburg wreck off of Curie Beach, North Carolina. But that's cool. I love having the stuff has this Carl and whatever it is, Matrix still on it. Oh,
so do you find most of your stuff metal detecting or just laying all over the ground? Or people just give you stuff?
I find detecting. I find stuff walking around. The Indian stuff I find walking around in the right places. And stop. Psst. Damn cat! I got a Maine Coon in there, and I hunt. I consider hunting down artifacts by going to different collectors and finding, part of the thrill too. So you go to a lot of the gun shows. My brother and I, before he passed away scuba diving, but he and I used to go to the gun shows, and we had a FFL for antique arms and all that. So
I don't mean to laugh, but
he really did pass away.
I just started scuba diving not too long
he was
ago.
Well, sorry. He was an expert diver, and he was an instructor and everything, and he was down in Florida. He was my business partner, my older brother, and he was down in Florida and came out of he was on the wreck of the something HMS or whatever it is, Eagle it was in the Keys, and he came out of the boat and fell back. He was dead. They said it wasn't the bends. They said it was heart failure, but that's Tavernier County. It's pretty corrupt in the Keys, so who knows what happened. But it's a true story. It was 6.5 years ago. So
wow.
But why did I mention him?
Yeah.
Why did I mention him? What was I talking about?
He was your business partner.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you go do shows, you got to pack all that stuff up, put it in the van, and
yeah, a lot of it I pack up. I put it in big Tupperware, whatever they call those bucket, those bins, plus wrap them up, I can't. I couldn't take all of this stuff to a show. It'd be ridiculous. I would have to have 15 tables, So I take select items. And we're going to do this talk. I'm going to take a lot of the Little Bighorn stuff, and I'm going to take some of the Alamo stuff. Hold on.
If you'd like to check out as a welder, I would recommend the company as my own test.
That's a good idea. You should do that.
You think so?
Yes. You should go get your lungs checked out.
You think?
So these are Alamo cannonballs. These are like 6 and 3 pound old seam because they're old cannonballs. These came out of Battle of the Alamo. The U.S. Army, right before the Civil War, occupied that part of Texas, and they occupied the site of the Alamo, which was basically in ruins. And this guy, a sergeant named Bostic, went through a lot of the remains and found a lot of stuff and kept it. He sent it home to his family, and his family had it until the 1920s. And then they donated a lot of it to some local museums, which were disbanded, and it ended up in private hands. So I found the one guy that had a whole lot of stuff. So I ended up with a couple of knife blade,
So
4 or 5 cannonballs.
so those cannonballs that you got there. So when they fire them, I mean, is that just like it's got to hit you to do any damage, or do they hit and explode? Or it seems like a lot of work.
Yeah, this is a solid shot.
Person.
This is solid shot. Okay, so this bullet was probably used for wrecking, knocking down the Palisade walls, knocking down. Actually, the Alamo building was an adobe building. But let me show you something else. Hold on.
Wow, that's really cool stuff. It's scary. He's got scary stuff. He got some real scary stuff. Look at all his guns. He's got a lot of guns. Wow. What do you think of that?
What are you doing?
I'm just looking. I'm looking at all the stuff he's got. Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff in there. I'm looking.
Now this is very cool. This was found inside the Alamo compound by that guy. It was basically given to me as basically a gunny sack of fragments, but I assembled all of them around some modeling clay. So this was an exploding ball, and I have it pretty much where everything should be. There's some gaps in it because I think sitting in the ground, rain and whatever else changed the shape of some of the iron, but it's pretty much together. And you can see I assembled it around like modeling clay and all that. I got to coat it because it seems to be getting a little bit dry. But that's a really cool find. It's something I've never seen in any of the Alamo displays. And, one of the biggest Alamo collectors in the history of the world was Phil Collins from whatever band that was. What band was it? You would know better than me. What band is that? Phil Collins.
Phil Collins.
Anyway, Phil Collins.
In the Air Tonight.
Huge. Yeah, that guy. Huge Alamo collector. Huge. And he had a multi-million-dollar collection he amassed over the years because he had the funds to do it. But since he was a little kid, he was into Davy Crockett and the whole thing. He donated about 3 or 4 years. It's online. You can look at it on YouTube. He donated his entire collection to the Alamo Museum. But there's a book on it, all kinds of guns that he tracked down that belonged to different Alamo participants, and really, really, really good guy and a generous person because he amassed his greatest collection in the world of Alamo stuff, and he just ended up donating it to the museum. So, but some of the different things that I have in mind also mimics things that he has too.
Wow. Backstreet Boys. Thank you, Raphael. TJ, bright idea. Who else popped in here that I didn't see? Dennis. Oh, let's see other people.
And these ones back here, those are 200-pounders. Those big
200.
ones back here. They were exploding shells. The smaller one is 100. Smaller one's 100. Let's see. There, the smaller one's 100 and the bigger one's 200. But there's a lot of.
How do you carry
cool
them to
smells.
get them home?
It's a task. The hand truck. Get him up to the truck. So,
And you dig
Yeah.
them out of the ground?
a lot of those came off private property. Um, um, some was water. People had water on their property in the muck. Years and years ago. You know.
I
So
I
some was
swear I
pretty
got to
cool.
make it up there one year. I do.
Oh, you gotta come. There's so much stuff here. I'm
I
only,
know.
I could. Okay, let me see if I can do this. I did this in another. But you see all the pistols?
Holy mackerels.
Are you seeing it? And see, there's a
Wow.
couple of like there's a flintlock
Let me,
river. And there's, let's see. Okay, there's a bunch of the helmets. This one is my other opposite side. There's that damn cat. Knocked over one of these big ship models. So already, one's tipping. He's trying to knock it. Just notice that. But there's a lot of Indian beads. I'll bring you over. This is kind of like what was that TV show? Where the kid shows Indian parents, everything. That's a lot of the Alamo. I'm sorry, Little Bighorn items.
wow.
And some of the markings on the guns tell a lot of the story, and a lot of the things that you see are repeats. And my brother worked with me a lot to acquire a lot of the different special items from Little Bighorn, and I tried to think something to memorialize him after he died. So I went on that one gun I showed you is the Four Winds symbol. This Northern Sioux, the Sioux Four Winds symbol, which is what this is. They also call it. They think it's like a star symbol, but I think the best interpretation is the Four Winds symbol. And this one, let's see if I can show you. Yeah, that's the Elkhorn Scraper Society Morning Star of the Northern Cheyenne. That's the book, something of the Morning Star about General Custer. That was a very good Cheyenne symbol. Custer was obsessed with the Cheyenne. They say he had a Cheyenne woman, but he was obsessed with the Cheyenne. And really, what happened with Little Bighorn is the Cheyenne were being decimated, and the Sioux, the Oglala Sioux, and all these different Sioux took heading away to what they felt was a safer area that they could be in, and Custer was basically chasing the Cheyenne, and ended up fighting 10,000. Coming across the village of 10,000, which he had no idea. And so there was a planned attack where they were going to attack from the south, they were going to attack from the east, north, east, and in the center, and all that. And it just they came across around the bend in the river, and they just saw thousands and thousands of teepees. And it was, I think one of the great historic holy shit moments, where, because I think Custer had no idea what he was in store for, and they all paid the price. At least all Custer's guys. Most of Custer's people did at that point in the northern part of the battle. But one of those great historic moments in history. So it's got to be. I can't think of it.
Do some of them guns? Do they still? Have you tested them? Like some of them still fire?
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't try it. I don't shoot that much. I really don't, and it doesn't interest me. I just hit is the whole thing. It's the story. Beat it.
Well,
But
after I get rich, I'll plan a trip there.
You gotta come. You gotta come here. Just at least we come here. We go to Chinatown. We take the 30-mile ride to Chinatown one night, and then we just spend the rest of the time detecting and Relics. So
That's what years ago somebody asked. Years ago, I got invited to go up to Michigan, the UP, and I went up there and we hunted copper artifacts. Arrowheads and spear points. So I have a whole bunch of that.
I would love to do that. Yeah. Oh, I would love to do that. Yeah. The problem here, there was a small trans-Pacific trade where the Indians met the Europeans, and only a small period, 100 years, 100, 200 years in the East at least. And the Indians began to use some of the kettle that started using the copper for different. I found that people are not that familiar with what it is. Only a handful of people that I know could truly identify some of that stuff when they're metal detecting. And I personally believe that most people out in the clubs that are going out in the cornfields and stuff and detecting probably find that stuff and throw it away. They have no idea they're finding copper points. I can't access that, or the cat's gonna bite me. So, but little triangular copper that came from whatever. But these people, I always try to educate at the clubs. I try to tell people, look, I took displays. I said, this is what you should be looking for, because I know people find these things and just toss them away. They think they're nothing. Oh, it's just a bit of copper, but they're artifacts. They're cool, really cool artifacts. So.
Yeah, I don't
But that's a very small window. But where you're talking about Michigan, I love to see that.
Yeah. Let me take a break and play a commercial. Can you hang with us a moment?
Of course.
Yes.
ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal is the only monthly
Go make
gold
some money.
prospecting magazine published in the United States, and is the most comprehensive and respected magazine about gold prospecting on the market today. With readers in all 50 states, it features articles on detecting, high banking, dredging, small-scale operations, assaying, basic geology, how to read the land, regulations, and more. Our monthly Ask the Experts column is answered by true experts. It features answers to readers' questions on processing, detecting, geology, and any other questions you may have related to finding and recovering gold and other precious metals. The Mining Journal features the most extensive selection of equipment, mining properties, services, and more, and a classified section featuring over 20 times more new and used items than the nearest competitor. The Mining Journal has been in continuous publication since 1931. A full 12 issues is available for just $27.95, and discounts are available for 2- and 3-year subscriptions. And an online subscription gives you access to over 3,000 articles going back nearly 20 years. Our purpose is to teach you how to find more gold. ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal is the tool you need to succeed. It's time to raise your gold prospecting knowledge to the next level with ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal. Give us a call at 831-479-1500 or visit www.icmj.com. That's www.icmj.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I had to run to the other building. Whew. I ran to the other building. But we were talking about these copper things. So here's some of the stuff like copper points.
Oh, how cool is that? Oh, roll. That's really cool.
Like knife points. But they did everything in copper.
Needles, right? Wow.
The funny thing is there are actually sewing needles where you can actually see the eyelets, for sewing, little sewing needles. But yeah, just a lot of these copper arrowhead points like things,
Oh, I'd like to do that. Is there a lot of that up there?
In the upper UP around, it was always, everything's around water. So whenever you get into water, because everything lived around water. And so, there's these are little hair beads even. Everything was in copper. Hair beads to, there's fish hooks even. I've got fish hooks. Anyway, so around this area, it's around Garden City area up there in the UP. It's called Little Bay de Noc. And everything that you dig up in the forest is where it kind of is out there. If you get a target, you know it's copper. There is no trash, and so it's just what it is. You won't know until you get out of the ground what it is. And sometimes they're just what they call, like just a hammered piece. It may be nothing. Like, what was this? It's just they started working it, and then either it broke or it was no good, and then they tossed it. But so you find a lot of just pieces that don't amount to anything.
Is that very malleable, soft?
It kind of is. It actually is kind of hard. These are hard. I don't know how they harden them, but yeah, it's just round little hair beads even and stuff. Tons of this stuff. Cool. And I don't know what that is with the little hole in it, little tag-like thing. But anyway, so I have a whole bunch of them, and I started giving some of those away and selling them and getting rid of them. So I took them all out of my display cases and stuff. So but those are my oldest things I found.
That's cool. That's really
cool. And then
in
camp, I find stuff like, tax tokens and, just shit from the 40s and 50s, So.
Do you use a detector to find gold?
Yeah.
You find
I use a detector to find treasures, to find gold, to find everything I've found has all been with detectors. On your buttons, you were talking buttons earlier. There's my button collection.
Oh, cool.
But the oldest one is a World War II button. That's my oldest, coolest thing. But then
so do they get...
It's all fun. See, like, these are the old gas tags, and gas things.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Gas cylinders, and there's square nails. Now, stuff like these, this is pretty cool. I don't know if you can see that. That's the swastika.
Oh. Yeah, but it predates World War II.
Yes, yeah.
And it's a token of some sort.
Yeah, it's 50 cents off. This was good for the good luck. The good luck token is what they call these.
Let me see something here. I thought...
But I love finding treasures in history and stuff like that. That's all cool stuff, man.
I found a
Hello, Joe Moore.
I found a cufflink with a swastika on it, and I put it on display at the club as a German Nazi cufflink, and somebody corrected me and said the S, the twisted cross, whatever they call it, is going the wrong way. So it predates World War II. They said probably from the early 1900s. Just a good luck something. But it was, white with black.
Wow.
It really looked like a knot. It's here somewhere. Who the hell knows?
Well, I've got, like Spanish markings and that, and you look at some of the markings, and they even use that swastika even there, the old Spanish.
And a lot of the Indian stuff too, right? A lot of the Indian stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it took one person to screw everything up.
You ruined a good symbol.
Yeah. Because it stood for good luck, and that's why they took it for.
Yeah. I wonder why they took it. I
I
wonder what cool German symbol. Association it had.
No German association. I think it was just a cool symbol.
Now here's something along those lines. There was a Bund camp in North Jersey. Still, the remains are still there, but German people prior to World War II of German descent would go up there, like vacation in cabins and swim in the lake and all that, but they were Germans. German food, the pavilion, the whole beer hall and all that. But some up there after, like when it was in ruins, and they found, like, this is not a run. It's just it's a training thing. They were also doing military stuff, but what you can't see, maybe you can. Let's see if I can get that thing.
Let
Oh,
me,
yeah, you can
the
see it. I think.
Natchez. Let me
See it?
let you.
See the
Oh yeah, yeah,
see the Nazi symbol?
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a couple of those symbols carved in it, and this is they were up there. It had to be around the time of Hitler. It also has a U.S. on it, but it's really kind of weird. I don't know exactly, what the connotations or what those people were thinking. Were they Nazis or were they just Germans or American Germans? It's kind of hard to figure. But during World War II, when World War II shit hit the fan, those places basically emptied out because I don't think people wanted much to do with it.
Wow. Let's see who snuck in here.
My father,
TJ snuck in.
my father was of German descent, and he told me one time that he used to belong to the Turnfrein, which was like a German club where they would, allies and all that stuff. I made a mistake, and I asked him one time. I said, "So you were in the Bund?" And that there's very bad connotations with the Bund because I think they were Nazis that prior to World War II, just prior to World War II, followed Hitler. And like I said, when the shit hit the fan, that all changed. And I remember my father. I said, "Well, you were in the Bund, weren't you?" And he's, "God damn it, I wasn't in the Bund." And he got really mad because his brothers and stuff went to the war. He's like, "I wasn't in the Bund. God damn it, for Christ's sake!" He used to always say that. Got so mad when I said that. I asked him that. So it was hard feelings, I guess. Obviously.
All right. Good night.
Yeah, my father
Kenny.
was.
Enjoy your ride.
Look at me. I'm a little guy. I'm a little guy. My father was 6'3", blonde haired, blue eyed, crew cut. I mean, he fit the depiction, but that was, I guess, the way it was in those days. So, I had a friend who was a girl I knew growing up, and she spoke German. Her name was a German name, and I used to hear her yell in German, and it was not. I don't think it was a particularly happy household, and I went in the house one time to use the bathroom or something, and there was a painting of the father, like this. Well, how would it be? Like this, with the German hat on and the insignias and stuff. He was in the German army. He was in the Wehrmacht, and it was this painting over the fireplace of him, looking all German. And then I saw him at the kitchen table, and long, gray, stringy hair, big, stringy beard, drunk on his ass like this on the kitchen table. And I felt, it was an amazing contrast between these two people, the picture of him and then how he was. But I always thought that was kind of sad, because he's a broken man, obviously. And that was probably mid-70s. So
Wow.
they were around when we were growing up.
What part of the state are you in?
We're in north central New Jersey. We're 30 miles due west of Manhattan.
Manhattan. So you're
we're
just below what?
Morris
That's
County.
New York?
North central.
I'm trying to picture on a map where this area.
From New York state line.
So you're way up by the New York state line then.
If you divide and you look dead center of North Jersey, that's where we are.
Okay, so you're
I'm in
way.
Morris County.
I was just looking on the map to see how
deep
far
in a bunker
I have
in Morris County. Launching my campaign.
Yeah. Are you going to run for something? Or you're up there in that area? Why not?
It's a good area because we're close enough to cities. I'm sorry?
To run for some office, you're up there. Politician.
No, I'm afraid I'll get put in jail.
Oh.
I'll get put in jail. I'll get put on trial.
Yeah.
For inflating the prices of my Indian guns. So,
oh yeah.
It's a really good area. We have mountains, we have country. Well, we have hills. We don't have mountains, but we have farm areas. We have a lot of colonial history, and we're 30 miles away from New York, so there's a lot of population, which means a lot of spots to metal detect. A lot of people were there, and I mean, you have 200 or 300 years of history here, and we can find things, colonial coins. that from the 1700s. We could find Spanish reals from the 1700s, all the way up to, modern silver and anything else, and modern things like guns. And there's
I
a
need to plan a
smoke
trip.
grenade around here somewhere. I found.
As soon as I get rich, I'm planning a trip back that
Anytime you
way.
can stay by me.
Well, I'll take my
See,
RV,
like this.
So.
I found a smoke grenade in the woods.
Wow.
You can stay at my house. It's okay. My wife would let you stay at my house. So,
Well, as long as I just park my RV
No, you could.
someplace, that's all.
that would be fun. You could take.
One of these days, I'm planning on it. That's my bucket list,
or anywhere. You could. We're starting to do like in the mall parking lots.
Yeah, you're digitizing.
And Burger King by the Burger Kings.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Supermarket.
I'm sure there's campground. I'm sure there's campgrounds around.
Camp in the produce aisle. Fruit is within reach.
The who?
Plan a trip. Let me know. End trip. You'll have a good time. Do you speak
Yeah,
Spanish?
you're digit. No, senor. No comprende. You're digitizing.
I can't hear you.
You're digitizing. You're disappearing on me.
Yeah, it's breaking up.
Yeah. You're in your basement.
I have a feeling whenever it starts breaking up like that, I feel like I'm gonna break up into particles like Dr. Spock, like Mr. Spock, and just disappear.
Yeah, today was that national emergency test. I didn't win the lottery. I didn't play, so I didn't win it. 1.2 billion lottery. Nope. Didn't even know it existed. That's how far out I am.
Oh, the lottery.
All right, Peter.
Probably played this many times in my life.
So how often do you go out to look for this stuff? Do you work full time still, or do you get to go play all the time?
Oh my God, I'm working more now than I ever did. Economy sucks. No, I used to try to go every Saturday morning and once in a while in the afternoon. If I get out early enough, I'd spend a few hours. But Saturday morning was my routine. But since this summer, it's been kind of tough business-wise. I've been, working on Saturdays and got a couple of big projects in the house. And so, I'm on a short leash these days. So, but yeah, that's the drill. I maybe 4 or 5 hours a day.
What's the best time of the month to be up there?
That's plenty of time.
What's the best time of the month to be up there?
I love the spring. The spring, April, May, June, March, April, May. I detect year round, unless it's like, then it grounds too hard. But all during the winter, we go out in the woods. Is March, April. But I enjoy the fall start blowing away. But March, April, May. Hey, the leaves have been blown away. It's the best.
Well, we don't like snow and we don't like big mosquitoes.
It's really nice. It's time to go. If we're woods hunters. We spend time in the woods. So if I'm in the woods and you hear something in the woods, you got something. It's not like you're in a trashy park.
Yeah. Right. So I'm putting that on my bucket list. So.
Absolutely.
I will do that. I got a friend that lives in I think it's West Virginia. Yeah, we're digitizing in West Virginia.
I don't know why it's
so I was up at his place detecting one time, and I found some mini ball in his backyard.
Breaking up.
Yeah, we'll let you go, Peter. I know it's later back there. We got a 3-hour difference back there, but. Let you go eat your dinner.
It's breaking up a lot.
Yeah, we'll let you go eat dinner.
Well,
We'll
let me go move. Yeah, I think I got to move the cat because it's breaking up.
No, I say we'll let you go. We'll let you go. We appreciate you taking time and talking to us and showing some of your cool stuff. All right? We'll chat again when Joe can come back.
No problem. Anytime. Take it easy.
Tell Joe I sat in for him.
You got to find Joe.
Yeah. All right, Peter. Hey, thanks, man. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, when I find Joe, I'll let you know.
Okay. Take care,
No
man.
problem.
Thanks,
Take
man.
it easy. Plan a trip.
Yeah.
Plan a trip. Okay.
It's on
See
my
ya.
bucket list, man. See ya. All right. Anyway, so, man, I got this. All of a sudden, cough. Hay fever's been going around. I'm all stuffed up. But anyways, hey, we want to thank Peter taking the time hanging with us, showing a lot of cool stuff. So we're going to go ahead and end things on out here. There ain't no rants from me, so all you troublemakers. Oh, let me play. I better play something here. I got to play another ad. Let me play this couple ads here.
Do you enjoy metal detecting? Do you enjoy finding gold? Join us on October 14th and 15th, Saturday and Sunday, when we will do a push on a private mining claim located near Meadview, Arizona, which is south of Lake Mead in the Lost Basin area. We have found a lot of gold in the past. We will be back. With a backhoe, we will expose new ground in proving nugget patches. Join us and get your share of the gold. We will be on site to help anyone who needs help with their detector or in locating their share of the gold. The cost is only $100 per person. We will even provide hamburgers on Saturday night. You can camp on the claim or stay in the nearby RV park or hotel. Call now and reserve your spot in this limited hunt. Call 928-851-7167. That number again is 928-851-7167. Call now.
Well, hi, this is Tom Bodett. I'm proud to be part of the Gold Fever radio program, and, well, you should too. We always get out and find a little bit of gold. Sometimes it's a lot, well, sometimes it's just a little. But all in all, we have a lot of fun. Come join us for one of our Gold Fever extravaganzas. You'll be glad you did. So until next time, I hope you get out and find a lot of gold. And remember, I'll keep a light on for you.
All right, everybody. Let me see who's snicking it. Let's see, Mike Bush. He was hanging in the thing. Captain Reynolds. Josh. Hey, Josh, I got all your stuff here. I'll bring with me to Meadview, all your winners. And so everything's been mailed out. So, okay. Anyways, you guys all have yourselves a great evening. Thanks for hanging with us. Take care. We will see you guys next week. Let me find my end screen here. Right here, I guess. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys all. See you. Bye.